Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? My name is XSlamFox and today I wanted to show you guys how to beat the Ropalolyst in solo in about 5 minutes. Right here I'm going to use Wukong Prime because I think that he's an excellent pick for this job, and I'm using just a Radiation Vectis with a pretty normal crit build, and for the Wukong just a little bit of duration and some survivability. The Ropalolyst fight is a little bit tricky, and you might find yourself going into squads and it takes, maybe 10-15 minutes, and people are grabbing it at the wrong time or doing the wrong thing. So I think it's best to just do this solo. Get prepared, get a good setup, and doing this solo should be a lot faster and a lot more consistent. So right here is the very first reason that I start using Wukong Prime for this fight. There is a very good distance that you have to travel before the Ropalolyst fight activates. You have to go, probably 2-3 minutes of running. So Wukong's second ability, the Cloud Walk, really lets you clear most of the stage without having to worry about too much of interaction, catching on ledges. It's just a really fast, really quick way to traverse the stage. While I'm heading over to the fight itself, I'm just going to give you guys a little rundown on how you want to do the Ropalolyst fight. Basically, you use your operator's amp to take off the shields. You get the Ropalolyst to shoot at you, and then once it's shooting at you, you lure it into shooting one of these beams. So once it shoots the beam, you take control of the Ropalolyst by walking up to it and hitting the X button. That lets you grab it, and then you fly it into the beam. After it crashes into the beam, you shoot one of the little nodes on its back, and then you hit the button. There's a button that calls down an orbital strike, and so you break the back, hit the button, and then you just repeat that over and over again. So for this, what you would like to have is it would be very nice to have a very good amp. I am using a 177 amp for those who are familiar with the amp guide. It is my first part of the amp is just the regular Raplac from Cetus, and then the 7 and 7 gives you a large explosive thing and a very high amount of status and crit. Using Wukong on this fight lets you go invincible and fly right up to the Ropalolyst, and then if you just shoot your weapon, it becomes extremely easy to just hit the X button and grab onto it, so it really helps you shave off a lot of time on this. Right here is the orbital strike button, so what I do is I put down a clone just for some backup, and I start shooting these buttons on the back. It can be kind of difficult to hit these. They have a very tiny hitbox. The rest of it's just invincible, but you get a very clear Eidolon limb-breaking, crystal-cracking sound when it does happen. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to tell if it's broken or not, so you can just shoot him a bunch. Lots of running around in this fight gives you like a good amount of time to reposition yourself. He turns a lot too, so he turns to face you, so it can be kind of hard to shoot out these back limbs. But once you have the back limbs shot out, all you have to do is hit that button, and as long as it's yellow, like if you see the bar being yellow, that means that it still has health. These limbs do reset after a certain amount of time, I think around 10 seconds or something like that. So if you shoot one out and you don't break it in time, and you don't hit the orbital strike button in time, it'll just regenerate. So here I am, I'm breaking the limbs, and then what I should do is I should run over to the orbital strike button and hit it. And then hitting that orbital strike button with the limbs broken effectively like triggers the next part of the fight. So you use your amp to deal as much damage as you can, remove all of his shields, go into operator mode, and just void dash 6 times to get across the platform. The only way that you can void dash 6 times is if you're using Zinnier with the energy expansion. So people who are a higher mastery rank or people who have maxed out their focus trees should have a little bit of an easier time with this fight. Otherwise it can be a little bit difficult to traverse, but again, if you have Wukong, just use that 2 button. The Cloud Walk should take you all the way to the platform. So right here I put down a waypoint just so I can find that very easily. I aim up at the back, I take a couple shots to break this. I get that nice distinct breaking sound after I shoot it. And then that's when I know. I run over, I hit the button, and it breaks it again. Now we start the next third final phase of the fight. it's basically like Mario, you know, do something 3 times. So just use your Void Dash, that's the fastest way to get across usually. If you use your Void Dash very quickly, right after removing his shields, you should be able to usually get across with the 6 dashes before he locks you out of it. And then all you have to do is grab him, slam him into the battery, and after you've slammed him into the 3rd battery, you're pretty much done with the fight. All you have to do is kill him, like deal enough damage to his health that it would kill him, and then hit the button one more time. He has a very fast recharge rate, and there's a couple sentients that spawn, and they very frequently start doing this thing where they just spin around and they cause this storm and this knockdown. So what you should do, just move to the button as fast as you can, break out your sniper rifle, get those 2-3 shots in, kill it, hit the button as fast as you can. It's not that the mechanics of the fight are specifically hard, it's just a lot of repetitive mechanics that have a few seconds here and there that you can shave things off. If you're really good, and you have really good aim, and you can break these limbs very effectively, remove his shields very quickly, and traverse to the platforms very fast, usually you can get this fight done in about 5 minutes. As you can see here, I did 5 minutes and 40 seconds, so I was a little slow on this. But anyway, I know that Wisp is going to be needed to Subsume for the new Heart of Diemos patch coming out in a couple days, so go back in there, hit up Wisp, try to get it done as quick as you can, and that's about it. Thanks for everything.